Going to move into the audience as we have the pleasure now of speaking to our professional athletes. We'd like to start with our professional women representing the United States of America with always one of the biggest smiles. Heather Jackson, 2018, what was your thought process at the end of the race? Because it was disappointing for you, I know.
Yeah, last year here I had a rough one. I guess my thought process is 364 days to try to redo that over. So yeah, just I learned so much last year. It was probably one of my roughest days here, but the biggest learning experience I've had in my triathlon career. So I was able to take everything I learned on the day, all the mistakes I made, and 4 weeks later execute. There we go. How I had hoped to execute here at Ironman Arizona. So just again another year of experience under my belt and coming in here ready to correct those mistakes I made last year.
Finishing the year last year with a great win, and then mixing it up and making your way across to Europe to the inaugural Ironman Vitoria-Gasteiz in the Basque country of Spain. And you look like the thing that probably hurt more than your legs was your face from all the smiling.
Oh my gosh, I want to say to everyone that is, put that on your list, but I don't want that because I don't want you guys there. No, but that race was absolutely incredible. Actually, the other night, I had about 30 or 40 people from Vitoria-Gasteiz, I can't say it as well as Paul, but just come and say hi at the Hoka signing. So that was just incredible. That race was amazing. And for me, it was one of the first times I've raced in Europe, and I'll be back for sure. Just that, yeah, just the fans there, literally the entire town was shaking on that run course, and we got to do it four laps. So very, very cool experience for me.
Thank you very much, representing USA, Heather Jackson. We move the microphone to Australia's Sarah Crowley. Indeed, a round of applause. Thank you. Sarah, last year 5th place, but you've had a 3rd before. Am I right? Sorry, it was 6th. Yeah, 6th place last year. You've had the podium before. Once on the podium, that just makes you so hungry to get back on there.
Yeah, I mean, last year I went for the podium for sure. I really went hard on the bike, and then yeah, I kind of maybe suffered a little bit on the back end of the run, but it was that kind of day where I think last year you could really go for it, and I think we got really fantastic conditions. Whereas I think this year as well, maybe there might be a little bit more of a conservative approach, given that we may get different conditions. They were almost perfect last year, but certainly here to bring everything I have.
The field is just getting stronger and stronger and deeper and deeper. And a lot of athletes talk about racing their own race, but can you realistically just race your own race?
I don't think that's necessarily entirely possible here, because it is a world championship. I don't think that it's going to fall into your lap. We've seen how much Daniela's fought in the past for her victories here, and I think it's not going to be the sort of a race where you can just head out and just race a plan and it all just falls in your hands. But for me personally, I sort of have attempted to try and find high competition races throughout my career, and particularly in the last sort of 12 months, to try and race the girls that we have here in order to kind of replicate that as much as possible. But there's really no other place than actually here to get that level of competition. And yeah, I think you saw last year the levels rising, and it's great that the girls can come and have a race where, you know, maybe it's as competitive as the men's field now. And yeah, it's fantastic, and it's why we do the sport.
Australia's Sarah Crowley, thank you very much. We move the microphone to the USA's Sarah True. Sarah, have you banished the Ironman European Championship from your memories?
That's a loaded question. I think what Ironman Frankfurt was a good learning experience for me about how to bounce back mentally and look at things with an analytical process. You know, we were able to do the relevant medical tests and be very systematic about how we approached what went wrong. And basically the answer is that I have not banished it from my memory, because this is something that we do not have a handle on completely. This is a medical issue. It's not something as simple as, I bonked, despite the mansplainers online would like me to believe. So ultimately, racing is uncertainty. I go into this race with a level of uncertainty that I would not have expected, but I embrace that, in the same way that last year doing my first Kona, it carried its own level of uncertainty just because it was a new experience. This year's Kona, it's a different layer of uncertainty because I don't know, frankly, how my body will respond. So that was a very long answer to your question and probably not one you expected.
After Frankfurt, it didn't get any easier. It was still a challenging road to Kona.
Yes.
I'm over here if you want to. Sorry, I'm not next to you. I'm in front.
Oh, I thought you were over there.
I figured that the photographers get a better picture when you look this way.
Okay, cool.
So it has not been an easy road, but there's nothing easy about this, and it's not going to be easy on Saturday either.
I'm sorry?
It has not been an easy road, we know, but it's not going to be easy on Saturday either. But that's why you do
It's
this.
Ironman. I mean, Ironman should be hard. Just by virtue of the distance, by virtue of these conditions, we all carry into this race, whatever we have going in, and you just try to make the most of whatever you have on the day.
USA's Sarah Truth, thank you very, very much. Mirinda Carfrae, one of the themes of the theme of the Vega Ironman World Championship is Ohana, family. And I've noticed that a lot of the questions posed to you seem to be about family, specifically around Izzy. But I heard you saying that your biking's better than ever before and you're running as well. And I was just wondering, is that the intervals you do chasing Izzy to and from all the water around us here in Kailua Kona?
Yes, exactly. I've mentioned earlier my daughter thinks she can swim and she can't. She's only 2 and very nervous parent here with her here in Hawaii with the water everywhere. But obviously family is very important to me. I met my husband in the sport. We've grown together through this sport over the last decade. And now we have our little one, Izzy, following us around. And she's definitely soaking all the atmosphere up this year.
Just looking at the Palmares, a second to win, a second to third, a win, second and fifth. I mean, just absolutely incredible. But I know that you're a champion, you're a winner, you want to step on that top step.
I mean, who doesn't? That top step is a magical place, and I've been fortunate enough in my career to be on that step 3 times. I'm a competitor. I'm here to race. I'm here to put my best performance out on race day and race against the best in the world. And wherever I end up, I know I'll be proud of that performance on Saturday. I'd love for it to be on one of those steps, but we'll have to wait and see. Not too long now.
Australia's Mirinda Carfrae, thank you so much. From Germany, Anna Haug, an incredible 2018. We have a replicated podium at both the Isuzu Ironman 70.3 World Championship Nelson Mandela Bay and when we came back here to Kailua Kona. But then it looked like this year held a couple of surprises for you, none so much than the Ironman Copenhagen. I mean, did you surprise yourself there?
Yes, definitely. It wasn't expected like that. My season was really rough with a lot of injuries and Ironman Copenhagen I have to do to validate my spot, and this was the very latest I could qualify for here. So I went into the race having 4 weeks of running in my legs, so I was completely unsure if I can run a marathon in one piece or if I have to stop after a half marathon and walk a bit. So it was a completely surprise, and had a very nice experience, obviously, to boost my confidence a bit for this race here.
The confidence is key. I mean, you've got the podium from last year. You had Ironman Copenhagen. I mean, that just puts everything onto another level in terms of the mindset going to Saturday.
Not really. I mean, you can't compare Ironman Copenhagen where you do pretty much the whole race on your own and you can pace yourself on your own. So a World Championship race is always a different one, and especially under these conditions, this depth of good competitors. So I mean, every race starts from zero, and you don't get a head start just because you have a good race before. So yeah, everyone has to put out a good race, and we will see who will be the best on Saturday.
Thank you very much, Germany's Anna Haug. Lucy Charles for Great Britain. I've heard the word mermaid used a lot recently, but it's so much more than just a swim.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously I've been a swimmer since I was 8 years old, so it's kind of in my DNA, but I'm now a biker and runner as well, and although I still want to swim at the highest level, I'm now a full-round triathlete.
Well, you've shown that with back-to-back wins at the Ironman African Championship in Nelson Mandela Bay and some sub-3 marathons.
Yeah, I've definitely been working on my run this year, and I kind of spent the whole winter just running and not doing a lot else, and I think we're starting to see the results of that this season, and yeah, I'm hoping I'll be able to put down another sub-3 on Saturday, so yeah, fingers crossed for that.
The Ironman World Championship in Nice, it was 5th if I'm not mistaken. What did that do to the thought processes with the final tuning coming into Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a born competitor. I don't come to races to not fight for the win. So for me, Nice was a bit of a disappointment, but it was probably everything I needed. I'd done a huge training block leading into Nice, and I was getting quite tired, and I probably easily could have put my foot off the gas after Nice and had a little rest before this. But from the day after Nice, I got on the turbo, the fire was burning in my belly for Kona, and I've worked really, really hard for this race. So yeah, I'm really excited to come here and race in my best shape possible, and yeah, hopefully put down a great performance.
Thank you very much, Great Britain's Lucy Charles. We move to our 4-time defending champion. She's a 9-time world champion. Switzerland's Daniela Rief. Last year, you had another competitor. It was a jellyfish.
Things happen out there. That's racing. You never know what's going to happen. It's a long day, and I think that's what it's all about. You have to overcome, little problems, and that's what keeps it interesting. So hopefully, not too many big problems on Saturday, but we take what we get thrown at and make the best out of it.
All the professional women sitting next to you and all the others that are going to be lining up on Saturday, I mean, the target's on your back, and they're just making it harder and harder. But you say that you don't count the titles, you don't look at the times, you just want to bring out the best that you can do on the day. And the better the field, the better you potentially can produce.
Yeah, definitely. The competition gets better and better, and I saw it in Nice again. I had a fantastic swim, and I looked around and I was surrounded by 15 other girls. So it shows that the level is increasing, and you can't have any weakness. You have to really put the best out there what you have, and so that means I had a fantastic preparation after Nice. I was very motivated to work even more on the bike. I knew I had to get stronger for this race to be able to push really hard on these flats and time trial for a long time, and I put in the work. So now it's all about showing it on Saturday.
5-time Ironman 70.3 world champion. Potentially Saturday becomes 5-time Ironman world champion in a row. And if I'm not mistaken, you'll be the second athlete to ever have done that. Do you even let yourself think about that?
No, not really. I mean, in the end, it doesn't matter like how many titles you win. I think it's the performance which matters. I mean, last year I had a fantastic performance, and I'm really proud. I look back, and I think I will always remember that race. It will be the race where I got stung by a jellyfish and overcame the problem and finished really strong. So it's like that, things when not everything goes perfect and you overcome it. That's what makes me really proud, and then also that feeling of going out there and just have a flow and just go really fast is, I think, one of the best feelings that you can ever have. And if I can show that on Saturday, then I'll be happy, and if someone else is faster, then well done on her.
Defending champion, Switzerland's Daniela Rief. Thank you very, very much. We're going to move to the last person that I brought up, but it's going to be the first of our professional men we're going to chat with. Requires no introduction. We had a rookie last year in his fierce competitor Javier Gomez, but this time it's Alistair Brownlee, who's our rookie on the pro panel here. Alistair, welcome to Kailua Kona. Welcome to the Vega Ironman World Championship.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, after forgetting me.
I'll never forgetting you, that's for sure. You don't arrive at a race to do a recce and just see what it's like and it's a practice round.
Well, maybe this is an exception. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that everyone else will forget about me as well, so I can just get on and do my own race. But yeah, for sure. I mean, lots of people have told me for a long time, you have to come and learn about this race. I didn't want to travel all the way to the other side of the world just to watch a race, so I'm here and here to race. And yeah, possibly I've trained as hard as I can. I think the last few weeks of training has gone as pretty much as well as they can. And if I'm in the position to race, yeah, for sure, I'm not going to ease up and enjoy the scenery.
The conditions in Kailua Kona very different to Ironman Ireland in Cork. Very, very different. And you know, people throw around, oh, Alistair's not that great in the heat, but then again, you won a gold medal in Rio. Yeah,
well, the conditions today aren't that different. I mean, it'd be nice if it was raining like today on Saturday. I think my chances would get quite a lot better, and the odds of the bookies would fall somewhat. But yeah, I mean, who knows? The heat and, to be honest, more the distance, nutrition are the unknown factors for sure. I'm not necessarily too worried about the heat. It's the distance for me and going to that unknown, the tactics, how the race plays out, how I cope with that myself. I think that's the big, that's the interesting and limiting factor as far as I'm concerned.
Great Britain's Alistair Brownlee, thank you very much, and good luck for your first Ironman World Championship, the Vega Ironman World Champs. Tim O'Donnell, USA. Tim, at the sharp end of the field most of the race last year, and then suddenly it just wasn't going your way. But that is Ironman racing. It's also been a fairly challenging journey to get back here and be sitting here with these men today.
Yeah, my coach Julie Gibbons and I joke I only had one dark patch during my race last year, but it was 13 miles. So I'm going to try to keep that a little bit shorter. I'm also going to bring a quarter with me, and if I end up running an entire marathon with Braden, maybe we'll just flip a coin instead of that sprint. But yeah, this has been a really tough year. Not as hard as Sarah, so I just remember that getting here. But some broken ribs earlier in the year, and then foot injury a couple weeks ago has kept me from the start line. I've never felt so fit and not been able to show it throughout the year. So this will be my third start for the season, and hopefully third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm, but sometimes injuries actually force you to rest when often one is potentially overtraining.
For sure, and I took that approach earlier in the year, and then when it keeps on coming at you, you just start scratching your head a little bit. But you get dealt your hand and you play your cards, and you do the best you can with this situation. And I really felt I've done a great job preparing with Julie for what we have for this race.
Tim O'Donnell, USA, thank you very much. Let's chat to your running partner. From New Zealand, Braden Curry, lovely to have you here, because also New Zealand will be hosting the Ironman 70.3 World Championship November next year in Taupo. You had a running partner for a while last year, as Tim mentioned. You are the reigning Asia Pacific champion as well. Big day lies ahead with the best athletes in the world. A lot of people are saying it's impossible to call the men's race for Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be. You look at the guys that are sitting here, it's not just these guys, it's the other 50-odd that are at home with their feet up as well. There's some real depth out there, and there's some real unknowns, and I just, there's some curveballs to be thrown, and they will be. So it's going to be a day of covering it and hoping that you're in there for the last bit of the fight.
I spoke to Marinda a bit about family. And, people say it takes a village. In your little village, farming family, but it was a teacher that actually got you to where you are here.
Yeah, it's a bit of I guess it's an honour to be sitting here in a way, surrounded by these guys. I wasn't into triathlon as a kid, something I found when I was 24, and I was in a small town, and pretty much at school learned that I loved trail running, mountain running, and I guess that's sort of where endurance sport started for me.
Well, good luck for that run on Saturday. New Zealand's Braden Curry. We move across to our two-time Ironman World Champion, Jan Frodeno. Welcome back, Jan.
Thanks very much.
Last year at the press conference, your fellow professional athletes all said that they would rather have had you sitting there than not sitting there. They would rather have raced you.
I wasn't here, so I'll take your word for it. But I recently looked back, and the only running post I had last year was an underwater running shot. somewhere out near the coffee boat. And it was an interesting year and obviously a hard year, having been around the sport for a while. Yeah, and having to sit on the sidelines and watching a race that made history. It's definitely not my favorite way to spend the day, but yeah, I'm here for it probably.
Due to the injury, you actually got to mix up sort of your season just a little bit. You managed to actually spend a winter, an actual winter over the December instead of being in Australia. So family time, which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, after having chased the end of summer for about 17 years, it was the first time to have a winter, and it really is unique what it does to you in terms of, you know, the seasonality, and not to be too hippie about it, but it really does make you appreciate the sun, which is nice coming here, and really realizing there's going to be plenty of it.
Looking at the field, it is an exceptional field. You know, we had a record-breaking year last year, but sometimes with such a deep field, it becomes a very strategic race.
That could well be. I mean, it always is, and the beauty about Ironman is that all the predictions come in during the week, and who's done what, and what data is where, and how's the wind going to be. And really, I think the most fascinating thing for all of us athletes is also to just finally get to that start line and see how it does unfold after all the predictions. So I think it will be, like the guys have said, a very, very good race to watch.
We look forward to that. Thank you very much. Germany's Jan Frodeno. Representing Great Britain, David McNamee, 2 times third. Last year, did you actually think you could make that podium again?
Obviously, going into the race, I thought I did. After my biking performance, no. Like going along Alley Drive, I don't think anybody thought I'd be in the podium. And yeah, I managed to find my running legs and get onto the podium, and yeah, I'm back again for one more shot.
2 thirds. I know that I think it's one win Ironman UK, lots of other podiums, but what do you mix up after those 2 thirds, after being on the bike and thinking, okay, this is not my day, then you still get into the podium?
I think it tells me that I need to be cycling a bit better. I think, yeah, if you want to win this race, you have to be strong, swim, bike and run. The level is so high that you can't afford to be weak in anything, and yeah, I worked hard the last 12 months to get myself on the start line and started with better cycling legs.
Thank you very much, Great Britain's David McNamee. Bart, last year, second man down on the E-Drive. Does it change your life?
I think it didn't change my life, but last year for me was a big reward for coming back every year and trying again to make it to the podium. It was my seventh time in Kona last year, so I think the message for me was keep trying, and one day you have a perfect day in Kona and you make it on the podium.
How do you make sure that Saturday is another perfect day?
I think the experience helps to stay relaxed probably the week before the race, and I mean, I felt really good. The preparation was perfect, but I think a lot of guys have the same, and Kona is always full of surprises on race day, so I'm looking forward to a surprising Saturday.
There we go, brilliant. Second place last year, Bart Erno from Belgium. Thank you very much. We move across to our 2-time defending men's champion, course record holder from Germany, Patrick Lange. Patrick, do we think about 3 in a row, or we just go and do our best race?
It's of course it's in the back of my mind. It's a great chance that Jan and I have here to be the first German to win 3 times. But at the end of the day, yeah, of course, you have to get to the finish line first and execute the best race you have in your tank on this Saturday, and that's what I'm focusing on right now, and everything what happens after, happens after.
Winning is everything, but sometimes rewriting the history books is also really important, and you're going to be the first man to ever break 8 hours on the Big Island.
Yeah, that's a great feeling, and it's been one thing that I ever dreamed about, to create something that nobody will ever can take away from me, and yeah, it kind of makes me proud that this 8-hour barrier here in Kona will yeah stick to my name, and yeah, it feels really good.
Patrick, one last question for you. It's not getting easier. The fields are getting stronger, they're getting deeper. And there are a whole bunch of athletes not even sitting here, the Lionel Sanders, the Cameron Wirfs.
Oh, yeah.
It's record-breaking like we spoke with Frodo, but I mean, potentially on paper, it's going to be one of the hardest World Championships ever, the Vega Ironman World Championship, possibly another Iron War on the 30-year anniversary of the Iron War.
Yeah, that'd be great, and I'd like to play a big part of it. So if I'm one of the two guys who run side by side for the marathon, I'm lucky to take it. And you're absolutely right. The field is really, really competitive, and even if you think it cannot be better this year, it will be better next year. So it's impressive to see the sport growing, and it's just amazing to be a part of it.
A huge thank you to our world champion from Germany, Patrick Lange. A massive round of applause for all our professional athletes, our professional women, our professional men. To members of the media, thank you for joining us here this morning. To our pro athletes, we're going to need you one by one, please, just on the left here for some photographs, and then we will release them for our media to have one-on-one. So you got some questions? Okay, sorry, let's take some questions from the panel. Do we have a microphone we can put into the audience? Usually by now the media have asked a million questions already.
For Alistair, you've always been a really aggressive racer. That's kind of your style. This is a race that usually rewards patience, maybe more than aggression. Do you plan on being more patient, or is that just not in your DNA?
I think it's the first time I've been asked that this week. No, not really, about the millionth time. But yeah, I think hopefully, yeah, I mean, for sure. I've prided myself on being able to win races in different scenarios, on different days, on different courses, and try to race in the best way to do that, not just being aggressive for no other reason, apart from that's what I like doing. So yeah, I mean, it's tactical, I guess, and I'm going to have to try and work that out during the race, and I'll try and make the right decisions as I go along to maximise, putting myself in the best possible shape to run a decent marathon at the end.
Any more questions from the floor?
Yes. Jan, with the time off that you had due to injuries, maybe that gave you a good base to attack this strenuous race, but how fit are you now compared to other years?
I don't know, Sebi always put it very nicely at the Bob Breakfast with Bob. I think it's a very fine line. But you know, I think the base has never been the problem. The fitness is not the problem for any of us. The kilometers are never the problem. It really is a bit of how hungry you are and how deep you're ready to go. And I think that's, as I said earlier, sitting on the sideline has provided for me a different perspective, and not taking it for granted to be here in good shape and ready to give it a good shake.
Do we have some more questions? Yes, here we do. Mike?
Okay, I'll ask a question for the women, and I'll maybe just ask two in particular. I'll ask Lucy, and then I'll ask Sarah True. Do you look at this as a race now where you can have an ally for a bit? Because the men, we see allies, we see some unwritten partnerships, but now I think you guys have such an amazing race. Do you see that, Lucy? Are there allies, or is it one against them all? And then Sarah, please, the same question.
I'd like to think I have an ally in Lauren Brandon in the swim, definitely. I mean, we're definitely the two strong swimmers out there, so if we can work together and hopefully work together again on the bike, then that might play into our favour. But at the end of the day, we're all here to race. We all want to get to that top spot, so it's a little bit dog eat dog out there as well. And yeah, I think we're going to supply a great race no matter what.
If Lucy and Lauren want to hold up for me and be my ally, I'm down for that. Yeah, coming from ITU, it's so reactive. You just see who's out there, and you want to push yourself to your potential. Ironman's a bit different. You have to kind of stay within yourself. So if there's somebody out there who's going a similar effort to the zones that you know you are capable of, they're your ally at that moment, and they're your best friend. But yeah.
Great questions. Do we have any more questions? Once again, thank you very much to the members of the media for joining us. You got a question, Brad? Go for it.
For Daniela, you're in a unique position of everyone on the stage because of how dominant you've been. You can really elevate the sport and kind of raise the profile of triathlon on a global stage. I know in Switzerland you're talked about alongside the likes of Roger Federer, and that's huge. But what can both you do to elevate the profile of the sport, and what can the sport do to elevate your profile as a global superstar?
That's a difficult question. First of all, I don't think I reached Roger Federer's level yet. That's pretty clear. So yeah, in Switzerland he's pretty much still the star, and I think that's never going to happen, never going to change, which is I think also good. He's a fantastic athlete. Yeah, I mean triathlon is different to tennis. It's I would call it a family sport. It's you know, like everyone is the same. I think that's what triathlon makes it so special. You have professional athletes racing in the same race than the age group athletes, and that makes it so special. And you get that at no other sport. And I think to be able to have this bonding between the professional athlete and the hobby athletes is amazing. I think it really, you know, like going out there in a race, being supported by the age group athletes, and they're cheering for us, and they're, you know, really rooting for us is really unique, and you never get that in another sport. And for me to be able to represent triathlon in Switzerland makes me very proud. To be able to be voted Sportswoman of the Year last year in Switzerland was very special to me, and also it makes me proud to be able to hopefully help triathlon a tiny little bit. I think Natasha Badmann did already so much for the sport. She's very famous in Switzerland, and if I can, you know, motivate some other people or some kids to start triathlon, that makes me very happy. And that's, I think, like for example, having a project helping youth to be able to train and get facilities and stuff like this is the other side I try to do next to just my training. And yeah, I really enjoy doing it, and I think it's nice to give something back as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Daniela. Last call for any more questions. Alrighty, we are done. To the members of the media, a huge thank you to our professional male and female athletes. A massive thank you to you for your time as well. The best of luck for the Vega Ironman World Championship on Saturday.